Hello, my beautiful people. This is Regina Joseph from Kenya in East Africa. How are you? I hope you are doing okay. Kindly hit that subscription button, subscribe for me. My people, we are low to 2,000 subscribers. I'm so happy, I'm so glad, and I'm so humbled. And I thank you so much for your continued support. Today, as usual, I am in my amazing kitchen. Anytime you see me here, just know that Regina Joseph wants to cook something very good, something that my family and I will enjoy, and we are going to fill our stomach. And before I do that, let me tell you something. Look at my head, how it is. Look how I look. This is the new face of Regina Joseph. But let me tell you something. I was so bitter and I was so annoyed. You know what I did? I went to the barber shop. Is it barber shop? Kinyozi. I went there and I met this lady and I told her, oh my God, looking at my face and the way my hair was, do you think you'll manage this head of Regina Joseph? And she told me, this is something very simple and I'll be able to manage. So, me, I sat down. She covered me with her salon things and I decided, not because I have already told her what the style that I want. I had to go check the style and asked her, will you manage to shave me the style that I had selected? She told me she will. My people, let me tell you what I did. Me, I decided to sleep. And immediately I sat on that chair. I'm telling you, I slept. But let me tell you, my people, when I woke up, tears were rolling all over my face. Look what she did. This is not the style that I wanted. And I was so bitter. I asked her, why wouldn't you tell me that you know to shave when you don't know how to shave? Look at how you have spoiled my hair. But she told me, oh, I was trying and don't worry, the hair will grow. And so, me, I'm just comfortable. Get used to this shape that I have. But with God, I know the hair will grow and I look good. So don't worry. And now, my people, without further ado, I want to prepare very delicious food. And today, we are going to eat beans. And let me tell you, you see these beans? These are the beans that I had planted the other day, the ones that I was showing you, and I had to go to the farm, pluck these, which are not yet dried. I had to boil them, and this is how they look. In our native language, you normally call them oshojua. You can call them maharagwe bichi. About in English, I don't know what it's called, but this is what you'll be eating tonight. And I know my family will enjoy. And I will not forget to put my tomatoes. And remember me, I love putting a lot of tomatoes. We are going to use this. My people, I'm telling you, I missed you so much. I was just asking myself, what? Regina Joseph family, where are you? And I was wondering, why don't run away from this channel? Because you have helped me grow, and you can see how we have grown. And I believe with the time we are going to adjust, and I'll be giving you very clear and good videos. Just bear with me. We are going to put tomatoes, and we are going to also to use onions. And also, let me now I want to arrange myself. You know me, I have got this weakness. Anytime I am in the kitchen, I have to move because I'm not used to arranging everything. And before that, I don't want to touch anything. Let me go direct in the sink, clean my hands like that, because we have to make sure anytime we touch things, our hands must be clean. Let me now go wash the tomatoes. Today, as we continue taking our videos, that is the time you will know what Regina Joseph Kitchen is cooking today. And not today, tonight, because I'm cooking supper. I have to make sure I cook supper, something that will fill my family's stomach. Here comes the tomatoes. And now, let me start cutting. Now I'm going to cut the tomatoes because we want to make our food very tasty. Imagine, my people, it's raining, cat and dog. I'm telling you, outside it's very raining, and we thank God for the rain. Me, there is nothing that makes me happy than rain. Me, anytime I feel that it's raining, I always smile in my heart because I know I myself, I rely on the rain. And so anytime the rain comes, I'm just happy, and I just feel that God has finally remembered us, and I'm just very happy. And you can see the tomatoes are well cut. And today I will not be adding a lot of ingredients. Imagine, in this kitchen of mine, I just love putting the tomatoes and the onions. That is the only thing that I want to use. But today I would have used carrots because carrots make the beans very tasty. But because I never went to the market, we are just going to manage this. When you are cooking this, you can add any ingredients that you want and any spices that you want. But let's manage this so that everything will be good. And now I'm going to put my cooking oil. And before that, I'm going to heat my sufuria. My pot is well cleaned. Let me put it there. We are just going to wait for a little, then I'm going to add this. Let's wait for it to heat. And now sufuria is well heated. Let me put some cooking oil there. We have to wait for it to heat very well so that we can add the onions. And remember, the reason as to why I always wait for my cooking oil to heat is because I don't love the onions getting soaked in the cooking oil. I do love when it's well cooked without being soaked in the cooking oil. So we have to wait. The cooking oil is well heated. It's now time to put the onions. You can even hear the sound. That shows that the cooking oil is already heated. Now we have to wait for it to turn golden brown. Let me adjust here. And I had already cleaned my salt dish. This is where I usually put it. And now, I do love buying this salt, which is big, because anytime I'm cooking and I don't have salt, it usually finish without me remembering that I don't have a spare one. So anytime I go in the market, I have to make sure I buy the big one, so that they can give me a lot of time and it will keep on. Let me just put here. This is how I love doing it. And when it comes to the spices, I will not be putting any. I will just put 2 Royco cube and my salt. That is what I will put. Let me return here. This is where I put my things that I'm not using in the kitchen, so that when I empty this, I just put them. Let's check how the onions are doing. And when I'm cooking the beans, this is how I love my onions. I love when they are like this. And it's now time for me to put the tomatoes. You have to stir very well. And because the tomatoes look quite hard, I'm going to cover so that they can soften as I empty here. And because I'll just be using this chopping board, let me just rinse it. As we wait for this, my amazing people, today we'll be eating rice. Today I want to cook rice for my family, so I have to boil my rice. Today we are going to eat white rice. I will not be putting anything. It's just boiling, adding some cooking oil, boiling it, and we are done with the rice. And also, my people, there is no way I'm going to eat beans, rice, without eating some vegetables. And that is why, look at this cabbage of mine. Look how fresh it is. Do you know this one I bought for 10 shillings? That is what I bought this, and this is what we are going to eat. And you can see how fresh it is. We have to make sure we steam our cabbage so that the food will look very good. And before that, let me just come here. Check how the onions are doing. The onions and the tomatoes are doing. We have to see if they have already softened. It is quite hard. I think it's because of the sun. I can hitting it right now. And now I'm going to put the Royco cube. Let us put the Royco cube. I love breaking it so that they can dissolve very easily. Like that. Let's stir. We have to stir very well so that the Royco cube can dissolve very well. And now, because the Royco cube is somehow salty, we don't have to put a lot of salt. And for me, I have a problem. I don't love measuring. Here, I just use my eyes to measure and see if the salt is well. The tomatoes are softening. And now, this is time for me to put the beans. And you can see how the beans look. This is because they have not dried. These are direct from the garden. I just went, plucked them, came and boiled them. And this one doesn't take a lot of time when you are boiling them. You just need to remove them from the bean cob and then you boil them. And this is how they are. Let me pour them here. Let us stir. On the other side, I want to start cleaning my rice. This is where I store my rice, and you can see it's almost finished, I need to go and restock my rice. And you know why I love putting here? Me, anything that I buy in the market, I just love selecting and putting it here. So that when I'm cooking, I'm not going to select it once more. I just come, take it like this and put here. And you know, in a family of 4, I don't usually cook a lot of rice. I'll just cook this 1 cup because we don't love eating rice that much. Yeah, it is. And then I'm going to clean. Yeah, it is. This is the pot that I'm going to use. And you know, there are so many methods of cooking rice. Today, I am cooking it in a very special way. Let me first of all clean it as I check how my beans are doing. And as I continue cleaning the rice, remember I put 1 cup of rice, and I love measuring the water because I don't want it to be overcooked. For every 1 cup of rice, I usually put 2 glasses of water. Like that. And because I want the beans to boil, I have to put some water. It was cold, so we have to make sure we cook them so that they can get hot. Just like that. We are going to start very well. Stir. You see, let us now check the salt. I think I need to add a little. Let us stir. Yeah, it is good. Let's cover. Yeah, it is. And my amazing people, remember we are cooking rice. In this burner, I have put my water. Let me now put salt. Like that. That is how I usually cook my rice. And also, let me pour just very little cooking oil. Now I'm going to cover so that it can boil as I continue cleaning my rice. Rice is well cleaned. Let me now put it here. I have poured something there. I need to sweep. I don't want to keep on stepping on it. clean my hands. And now, as I continue waiting for my water to boil so that I can put the rice, let me now prepare my cabbage. We have to steam. You can see how big it is. We have to make sure we clean it very well. Let me take a bowl. And now, let me start cutting the cabbage. As I cut, I have to continue checking how my food is doing. It's still doing good. Let me check. It's not yet boiled. Let me continue cutting my cabbage. The water is boiled. Now, let me pour the rice. Today we have to eat white boiled rice. I have to make sure I empty everything. I have to make sure I empty all of it. You know, the economy is so bad. Like that. Let me now stir. I'm also going to check the salt. Yeah. Let's cover. Let me continue cutting my cabbage. Let me continue cutting the cabbage. Yes. Here comes the cabbage. We are just going to use this chopping board. Now let me prepare the onions. And for me, I'll be putting tomatoes because I don't have the spices to put here. I don't have curry powder today. So I think tomatoes will do good. Let me continue checking. And my good people, because we are eating light, I don't have to wait until the soup dissolves. This is how it looks. And this is what we will be eating. Look how that beans look. Look how it is. I'm telling you, I know and I believe this food is very yummy. I love eating them. Let me cover. That is where our serving will be done. Those ones are for cabbage, and here it is. And now I want to start steaming my cabbage. And before that, let's check the rice. You know, for the rice, you don't have to cook in high flame. You have to make sure that you reduce the heat so that they can cook slowly by slowly. Now, let's take another clean pot. This is what I'm going to use to cook my cabbage. We have to heat our sufuria as usual so that we can also put the cooking oil. You know, there are people who, when they're steaming the cabbage, they don't usually put the cooking oil. But for me today, I have to put, because you can see I have got onions and also have got tomatoes. So we have to make sure our steamed cabbage looks and they are figure-eighting. We have to make sure we cook something very good and something extraordinary. Let's wait for it. My people, if you know how I missed you. I was telling my daughter today, I miss Regina Joseph family. And my people, there's something you have forgotten. You, my followers, why are you not joining in my channel? Just click join and be a member of this Regina Joseph family. And now, let me put some cooking oil. Very little one. I just need to put very little just for burning the onions. Let's go for it. Just join, be a member of this channel. Hydrate, I beg you. That's the thing I usually tell you, that before you finish watching the video, hydrate, like and comment. And also don't forget to hit that red button, subscribe. Subscribe and let me reach 2,000 and I'll be very happy. Let's now put the onion. Let's wait for it to turn golden brown. Let me switch here because I no longer need it. Now let me remove the lid so that it can now cook with just it can continue cooking. These are Regina Joseph kitchen dinner choices. Imagine number one, take it or leave it. That is the motto of this kitchen. Anytime I cook something, it's either you take it or you leave it. If you are satisfied, you leave it. If you love what I cook, you take it. Those are my kitchen dinner choices, and I love them because my family must follow those rules. Now the next step, let's put the tomatoes. On the other side, it's now time for me to reduce the heat here so that the lime can now dry. Because it's already cooked. Let's stir. I don't want to burn my hand, so I have to take my holder. Let's cover so that the onions can soften, the tomatoes can soften. So let me check my rice. It's now time for me to put the salt. The tomatoes have already softened. Let's now put the cabbage and steam it. Let's check the salt. My rice is also cooked. Let me set it here. Now I'm just waiting for the cabbage. My good people, imagine just like that, supper is well cooked and supper is well and properly prepared. Here it is. This is what you are going to eat tonight. And now the next step. This is the time I always enjoy, and this is the time I love more. Let me take my plate, because this is the time I know that I'm going to fill my stomach. And I have a friend who asked me, Mercy, I'm just directing this question to you. My friend told me, Regina, why is it that anytime you're in the kitchen, you have to serve food for yourself first and you eat before you give your family and your kids? And let me answer you. You know the reason as to why I do that? Let me just, yeah. The reason as to why I love tasting and testing the food first is because I want to feel if I have cooked delicious food and if my family will enjoy. You know, there is a time you can cook your food and you put a lot of salt in them, or you put a lot of cooking oil and the food will not look good. So before I present the food to my family member, I have to put a tick and see if the food is 100% perfect. That is why I always taste and test before I serve my people. And now my people, let me open. Tell me what you think about this food of mine tonight. And my sister, Alice, I know you are just, I know when you watch this video, you tell me, hey, my sister, why don't you tell me that your beans are well grown? And my sister, kindly come, join me so that we can eat together. And this is what you are going to eat. And the first thing that I'm going to put, I have to put my white rice. Like that. The other part, I'm going to put my cabbage. Like that. When I put here, let me just put this aside. And on the other side, this is now time for me to put my beans. Here they are. I have to put soup. Let me add some rice. Imagine this is what you are going to eat. Let me take a glass of water. Wow! I'm just very happy. Look at what I'm going to eat tonight. Mwah, my people, let's go direct to my dining table and enjoy the meal. Here I am, and this is what I have. And before I eat, I have to thank my maker. And you know the reason as to why I will thank my maker. For one, I planted these beans just another day, I think 3 months ago, and you can see the rain came, God provided rain, and Regina Joseph can harvest and eat the beans. That is one thing that I'm grateful to God. The other thing that I'm grateful to God is because He has enabled me to have food on my table. That is another gift that God has given me. And for those who don't have, may God provide for you. And before I eat, let me just say a short prayer, thank my Maker for providing for me, and let's pray. May the Lord bless the meal before I take. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. And now, without further ado, let me taste what I cooked so that I can serve Chantel and Stacy. I know they are waiting for the food. I have to taste first. My good people, the food is very tasty. And that is why I always tell you that in this kitchen we cook food that even you can find in the next door when you go to the market. And you can see these are very affordable food. And my people, kindly try this recipe. Do cook this for your family and they really enjoy. And my people, thank you so much for your continued support. Let's meet in the next video in the same place, and our good God will always bless you. Remember, I love you. Good night, good day, good evening, depending with wherever you are watching me from. Bye bye.